Oh, how lovely. Well, this is really nice.
Hey, Kristen, did you get a copy of the Arbor Day program for our Tree City thing? That might be a good thing for you to have. Here, I'll tell you what, I'll give you two of them.
Okay, thank you.
Those will be collector's items now because those are the last two.
You not offering to me and I wasn't.
Yeah,
I'm guessing you have it digitally.
next time.
you.
But that's the kind of thing that looks good in a packet.
It
you know,
does.
For putting that together.
Mhm.
Evidence that we
Tree City.
did in
Mhm.
Arbor Day celebration.
Yeah. Okay. Even though she was here.
Yeah,
But that's good.
well, that's our best evidence.
Yeah,
We just gotta keep her alive.
right, I was just about to
Yeah,
say.
that's
Something
the
happens
important
to
thing.
her.
It's a very nice program. Was it well attended?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was nice, and we've still got trees to plant out there.
Uh-huh.
I want to get those gum trees in the ground real soon. And it looks like
You're
the
planting-
Jane Magnolia is already bloomed.
You're planting sweet gum trees, I think.
Yeah, but they're not sweet gum, these are black gum,
Black gums.
so they're Tupelo. They're real pretty.
Oh, okay. And
They get they'll get the white flowers in the springtime. And then they get these fruits that the birds like to eat. And then it turns like a gold color. The leaves turn like a gold color, like orangish yellow in the fall. So they're real pretty, but we want to plant those right by the cemetery here
Yeah, between the sidewalk.
along Dill's Bluff,
okay, that look good.
because they'll get real big too. They're big, broad canopy trees.
Okay.
The one over there has buds on it.
Oh, it does? Cool.
Yeah, those Jane Magnolia, we gotta get that in the ground. Because he's already making an effort.
I think Cameron just pulled up.
Okay, that'll be 3. Would that be quorumish? I don't know. I think we've got 6. I think we're,
Mm,
I don't think so. I
yeah.
don't know that we quite make it with that. I guess, we could have a discussion, but we can't move on anything.
Yeah, that's Cameron.
And my hope is we could get some officers in. And somebody to chair it too. Because I'm just the liaison, and it'd be good to have like a real chair.
Mhm.
I mean, I did this to get it started and, be good to have some fresh blood in there. No pressure. You're the only one here.
I knew I should have gone to exercise class.
That's how it goes.
I know.
Yeah, but normally you pick the people who,
Well, let's do that.
that's the penalty, right? That's the penalty. So that'll work out
You
fine.
probably should be somebody who would do it.
Yeah.
No,
I think so, if we're gonna start talking about
yeah.
policy and things. More credibility, a lot
Okay,
more credibility.
if you say so,
Oh, you know it's the truth.
yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, that is, oh, I got some,
So how's are the students doing?
Oh, man, they're running me ragged
We got some good, interesting students.
because they're not doing well.
Oh, okay.
They just had their neuroanatomy exam yesterday, and I got a U-shaped distribution again, meaning that I had a whole bunch of A's and B's and a bunch of D's and F's and no C's. So it's the opposite of what you would expect with the normal curve,
Yeah.
which means that if you studied for it, you did right. If you didn't, not so much, right? And that's kind of what we've seen now twice on the first two exams.
Oh, really? I'm like, so how, what percent of the students are
So
getting?
I'm real happy with extra class.
Yeah,
But I don't like, hey,
so it's like half of the classes getting the D then?
well, not quite that, but it's a negative skew, so it's still more people passing than fail. So that's
Okay.
good. It's just not good. Now, the other class they do fine. Right. But the neuroscience is going to go small.
Yeah.
Here comes our. child.
This is Julie. Holman. That's kind of, he works here. Well, we have four, that'll do it.
Well, when I heard that he was, I haven't believed it was a pretty bird. And they said, "Okay, sound."
Hi, Julie. So far, so good. Go around this side, so you don't have to go through the lines there. And wherever you look. Wherever you look.
Nice to meet
How's it
you.
going, Kathy?
Kathy, hi Julie, I'm Robin.
Robin.
Nice to meet you.
I was gonna introduce everybody, but I'm glad you guys have got it.
Too slow, Karen.
That's right. And this is your cousin for being on the
Okay.
tree board.
Is,
There's not.
is
gonna
that,
be a
you're gonna
test.
try to do Zoom too, or?
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
Ah,
Well, I think we can proceed since I think we have a quorum, right? We have four. Well, I like reinforcing on time behavior. So, we could catch people up. All right,
Kathy, I like your haircut, that looks good.
Oh, thank you. I think it just is washed.
well, it's working for you. All right, so we'll bring this meeting, our February meeting of the tree council
Good.
in order. Oh, we have somebody. That looks like Paul and Jimmy.
Oh, good, yes.
Now we've really got it for them. So
Now
that's good. But we'll still bring it to order. We don't have the minutes, so we can't approve those because we just don't have them. So we will hopefully get those in time for our next meeting, which will be the second Tuesday of March. I'm not sure what the date is.
It's the 14th again, I just put it in.
Is it really?
It's March 14th.
Did buy roses today.
It is the 14th. That's right.
Hi, guys.
Hi, guys.
Did you say March 2nd? 14th?
March 14th. And since we're off to a new year, does this time work for everybody? Is this still a good time to try to have our meetings?
Is it too soon for you for work?
It's not awful.
4:30 works for you guys?
It's a little rushed today, but I was trying to get ready as well.
Okay. All right, well, we'll just keep the same time then and the same day, just to make it easy. And we'll try to get the minutes from November next time so that we can approve those with these. All right. The second thing on our agenda is the election of officers. And available positions are chair, vice chair, and secretary. So we could do the natural thing, which would be to nominate people who aren't here for those positions, or
Maybe do all three?
that'll teach you.
That's funny.
Or if there's anybody who's interested in any of these, you
I'll
can,
volunteer for vice chair.
okay, all right. So I guess that's a motion and I'll second that. Anybody else for vice chair?
The pay is good.
It's the same as last year. Right. All right, all those in favor of Kathy Woolsey being vice chair, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right, the ayes have it. So Kathy will be our vice chair. And we
Can I
need,
nominate, Amy for secretary again?
well, okay,
Or-
um,
I'd be happy to do the
Oh,
secretary.
I thought
Okay.
maybe Robin.
all right,
Yeah, I'll do the secretary if,
okay.
do you want me to?
Anybody else for secretary? All right, now.
Is that starting today?
It could,
Because you're the only person here.
it could, that would be wonderful if you could.
Okay,
Okay, all those in favor?
Uh,
And I'll second it just for,
There you go, very good, all right. I think, all those opposed?
Okay.
All right, it's unanimous, that is excellent, thank you. And now for the most, unimportant position of all of them, the chair. Any nominations for chair?
I think we're gonna make you do
We kind of need a new chair.
Julie,
She's walked in.
it. Okay,
no, I'm nominating you.
Paul, would you be averse to serving as chair?
I would have to think about it. I don't have anything going on.
It's only a year term. It's really a fun group of folks. It's straightforward, making the agenda. That's pretty much what you do.
And Francis basically, you just tell her what, and she does it, right?
Well, I actually like it. You know, I just
You don't
do
have
that.
to do that. You can
Right.
just tell her, call,
It's not a big deal.
and she'll send it out. Call, send out email or agenda items and then send it to Francis.
That's exactly how it works.
Yeah,
That's right.
then just,
Then you got to run a tight ship on the meetings.
I'm good at that.
That's right. All right. All right. Do you feel like you're being railroaded here a little bit?
we can skip this till.
It's fine. I mean,
Yeah. Tell you what, why don't you think about it and we'll circle back to this agenda item. All right.
Or were you totally opposed, Julie?
Well, I think I should be on it. Like, I'm gonna swear a wrench.
That's fine. There's no swearing. We don't do that. We're online. Kathy. All right. All right, we'll circle back to chair. All right. So the next thing on our agenda is goal setting for 2023.
Plant more trees,
I'm sorry.
plant more trees, is that what you?
Yeah, that could be a goal and how to realize it. As far as like tree planting, Kathy, what are you thinking? More public programs to hand out more
Let's
trees?
just plant some street trees here and there. I've been kind of, as I drive, putting things in my phone, places I think we could put some in. And I think, sensible things to hire some company to get a list and say. And contact homeowners and say, hey, we're planting live oak trees, would you like one? Or whatever trees.
Well, I think one way to do that would be to let people know it's available. And I think that if they know it's available, they would be happy to care for trees that we plant in their right of ways. But we need to have a specialized list of trees that are suitable for doing that. Based on what we have already done, as far as identifying trees that are under power lines versus trees that have no power lines.
And then there was that.
Yeah, I should probably let you know what's going on. I'm talking with Clemson Extension about a class to teach homeowners how to deal with stormwater on their residential properties, things like rain garden, rain barrel. But one of the components of that is going to be picking out native trees that do well with soaking up the water.
Good,
So there is going to be that component in there based on the native tree list of funds. So just wanted to let let you know, that's going to be end of March, beginning
So is this a presentation, Mark,
of.
a seminar?
Yeah, it's going to probably be 2 or 3 Monday nights here.
Okay,
There might be a virtual component to it, but yeah, it's going to be at least in person.
okay. And as far as publicity goes for that, is the town gonna,
Yeah, we
Promote
are.
that.
As soon as Thompson and I have the agenda, sequence, events and stuff like that. Curriculum, I think as a teacher. you would say.
I think that's outstanding, that's
Yeah.
good.
And what's the title of the seminar gonna be again? Door,
Working title is dealing with stormwater on residential properties.
okay.
I'm kind of thinking street trees, and in some cases that might be the case. Sometimes it might have to do something in the background.
There's nothing that prevents us from doing both.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's an outstanding program that I'd be happy to help promote. And I think the street tree program is another one that would be ideal too, given the work that we've already done identifying potential trees for power line locations versus other trees.
My feeling is on street trees, like a tree in your yard is just shading grass and shrubs. But a street tree is shading the asphalt that heats up and contributes to global climate and is better a little closer to where the stormwater is, right? And so that's why I think we should really try to lean toward street trees. For that reason, but no, trees, they're all good, right? But to shade that asphalt and sidewalks and any other hard surface would be good. And in some places, now, the Howard, SCOBP will let you plant crepe myrtle anywhere. They don't even consider them trees, they just think they're big bushes. 'Cause usually a car can hit a crepe myrtle and everybody will live, it's not that much damage. But bigger trees, of course, they worry about. So some places where there's power lines, we can get a shorter variety of crepe myrtle. And it'll be pretty and colorful. And like I said, SCOD doesn't care if you plant those. Or like oleanders or anything like that too. The live oaks, of course, we know they do so much better than the water oaks. And didn't we have some of those, the students in time identify some really bad water oaks that we were thinking about taking down?
Surprisingly, not so many of them.
I was thinking if we took any of those down, we would have a spot to plant.
I mean, the ones of the 469 trees that they identified, there were 5 water
Yeah.
oaks
So,
in right of ways.
yeah, so.
So for the most part, we don't have those. It's mainly laurel oak.
Yeah, if they
It's in the
do,
right of ways.
we would have a spot to plant with live oak, right?
Mhm,
Yeah, so there's 5 trees right there.
right.
So,
And Mark, you go on, Mark Johnson's our public works director. Mark, you go on, sojourns through the island, and you identify trees on occasion that have issues that need to come out as well.
Right.
So if you could keep a list of those, that, and anything that you're referring to SCDOT to take out, removal. If we know that location, we can get a new one nearby.
Okay.
And that would be a good process to maybe incorporate into what you already do, right?
Yeah, that's a good idea. The inside of the further power lines, how many underground utilities are running through the area? Because if we've got gas line, AT&T, everything else, no one's something that's going to disturb those type of gas. Yeah. Sounds good.
But I mean, I don't know if we need to formalize a process or what it is, or if you could just bring us a location and then contact the homeowner nearby.
Yeah, let me start, because Eric, I think you and I started with down by Fort Johnson.
We did.
But we didn't really go any further with that. Let's resurrect that. And because I know some of those trees were really bad shape.
Yeah, there were some that needed,
Yeah,
definitely were dangerous.
yeah.
Very good. All right, well, that sounds good, like a goal.
The town provides nutrients
Mhm.
for that town.
Yeah, that's the idea, that we go ahead and replace trees in right of ways. Because right of way is no man's land. And if we want to do things there, we should do things there. And like Kathy said, shade over asphalt.
Ideally, if we can just get it off SCOD and onto the homeowners, and you just have to get their permission.
Mhm.
Mainly because we don't have to worry about SCOD coming along, cutting down or doing anything to them or spraying them or something. But ideally, if we can just get it a few feet onto their property, the trees would probably do better.
Mhm.
And, yeah, that would do a little better. And also, should we worry about trees we might want to plant in the city areas? Because actually, when I was driving around, I actually saw a lot of city areas that I thought would use some trees.
Yeah, they're barren.
Yeah,
A lot of the city of Charleston locations,
yeah.
because they clear cut the neighborhood when they went in.
Yeah, yeah, but I don't think we should really care. It benefits everybody, right?
I don't care if it's city or town
Yeah,
or county, really. I mean, if there's a good spot for a tree and we have trees to plant, let's plant them there.
and I know y'all probably getting ready for budget stuff. I think
That's
we
coming
ought
up.
to, try to get some more money, and I think we could probably justify it coming out of the, local option sales tax money, or the hospitality tax.
It'd be tough. You've got to justify it for tourism and hospitality.
Yeah, but I think,
Yeah. You have to do hospitality because the roads we're mainly concerned with are Riverland and Fort Johnson. Both of those are designated
Scenic byways.
scenic byways, and DOT policy is we'll designate something as a scenic byway, and that's all we're gonna do. We're not maintaining any of the trees or reasons why it's a scenic byway. They just don't do it. And I have already talked to them a few years ago about that, and if we want to take out and replace, they have our blessing.
do you
We
think
have the
could
tree
use
fund.
hospitality tax on that?
We have the
We
tree
can,
fund
because
also.
it's, yeah, that's a sort of generated type of thing.
Planning.
People go, they'll get that list off of the DOT website, and they'll try, it's like finding out where the Blue Parkway.
So we can use some of that money and then just use local options, our regular funding. And I would ask for, I don't know, I think I'd ask for about $10,000 at least.
Yeah, I think that would be a fair amount to ask for. Plus we have the tree fund and there's money in that still and that rolls over.
Yeah,
So there, I think that we have cash to deal with this.
Yeah, I was gonna get into that in item 6 too.
Mhm.
We have a ton of money we haven't spent.
Right.
The town has a ton of money they
how
haven't
much is
Right.
that? You're in different numbers.
spent. There's 3 pots from what I can tell. But we can wait.
Mhm.
And maybe, we can just either just find a local landscaper willing to do it, or talk to several of them and get a good estimate. And I think if you hand them, they don't want to go out and do one tree, right? We want to give them 10, 20, 15, whatever,
Mhm.
and, I think,
It also makes sense to purchase them that way
yeah,
as well. Get the trailer trees in and then distribute them and plant them, right? And I think there is also a time of year factor here
Yeah.
also, because we don't want to be planting in the high summer.
well, actually, I actually think August is your highest rainfall.
Mhm.
I've actually switched my thinking, even though it's hot in August, plants don't mind the heat, it's just the lack of water. And if you've got your highest rainfall in July and August, that might be just fine, and then of course fall is coming and the cooler temperature. And we've got a lot of rain right this month, which is unusual. But usually you want to start October, November, but October is one of the driest months unless you get a crop storm.
Mhm.
But I think if we kind of start on it now, by the time we talk to landscapers, it'll be time to plant them anyway.
Right.
These are small trees?
Now, we're gonna at least do 1 to 2 inch. If they're too small, people tend to run over them or get them a whacker. I prefer a smaller tree.
They do better growing wise.
Yeah.
If they start smaller, they grow.
But
much
it
better.
takes 2 seconds with the weed whacker and it's gonna die.
Yeah.
Have you ever had any community involvement in planting the trees?
Not really.
Yeah, we've had some Arbor Day
Yeah,
festivities where we had the community involved. And we used to have that as a big deal with the middle school. But we kind of maxed out the trees at the middle school. If we can plant them.
Yeah,
That
we
might
got
make-
some people more likely to water them or not, you
Mhm.
know.
Oh,
Especially if we
comes
do
down.
it on somebody's property involved them.
Yeah.
But if we plant quite a bit of trees, I think we're better off going to hiring somebody. Handing those people information.
At least to dig the holes.
Yeah, yes.
And call 811 and all that.
Okay, so this is pretty good, and it actually also addresses item number 5 here, which is our tree replacement program for Tojai right-of-ways and identifying locations.
Yeah,
And Mark, were you gonna speak to that?
I was gonna speak to the water, if it's on somebody's property, that's great, because they can water it, if it's on the right of way, we have the capability of doing it, but I wouldn't say it's labor intensive in our, it's just an extra thing for the guys to do. We have the gator bags, we have the evidence that we can keep them filled and everything.
Right.
That Bible we planted in front of the
High
high
school.
school
Mhm.
is right. So we can do that, but it should be nice to have.
Yeah, I get it. All right, well, these are good things, good things. Other goals, tree planting's a natural, all right? What about some other goals as far as taking care of trees that are already in right of ways?
Yeah.
I think this would be a very good thing to do. We've done this before on several occasions. We took care of a copse of trees at Camp and Fort Johnson over there across from Walgreens.
You mean Camper Folly?
Yeah, that's right. And then we also took care of some trees at the entrance to Lighthouse Point. Kind of cleared all of that out. I know that there are many other areas on James Island that require this vine clearing for the health of the trees.
Many, yes.
And I think that it would be a good idea to maybe identify some of these for potential cleanouts and care of the trees. I mean, we don't even know what's under some of these areas because the vines are so thick.
Seems like to me most of the worst ones are Fort Thompson. Well, that, probably any of that's in town, right?
No, none of that has.
Yeah.
City,
Yeah.
it's in the city, but. Yeah, we talk about the trees, but also the sidewalks. That's my favorite thing, sidewalks, is, yeah, the river bottom, people can see them from cars or pedestrian.
But getting back to it, I mean, I think what I'm thinking about is more along the lines of tree health. You know, not necessarily clearing for sight or those kind of things, just really looking more at getting the vines out of trees so that we could see the health of the tree.
Exactly, because then you can get somebody in there. DOT doesn't send their arborist out to say, oh, our crew is gonna, trim this up and we need this. But this is dead, they don't do that.
That's what we want to do.
Yeah, that's, but they would love for somebody else to do it, especially, a woman might fall on the road. And again, with no DOT.
So should we say as a goal, identify potential locations for tree
Enhanced.
care and enhancement? That sounds good.
Let's say that one more time, please.
Identify potential locations
Okay,
for tree health and enhancement.
lovely.
Nice. We got the money for it. The town has budgeted quite a bit of money. We have, our
Yeah, we've
council,
been sitting on that.
our council has $3,500 and we've spent nothing. And there's something called tree maintenance and care, which has spent $700 so far in this fiscal year out of 20,000. And there's another line item, what's tree mitigation revenue? Because it's $9,500.
That's when someone takes a tree out, either, the BZA requires them to mitigate it, or they do it illegally, and they pay a certain amounts of the tree fund.
Okay.
Isn't that?
It says $9,488 in revenue.
And that rolls, so that's good. Kristen, along these lines, do you feel that our tree ordinance is strong enough at this point? Or do you feel like there are some modifications you would like to see to that ordinance? I'm not saying to become more punitive or anything like that, just easier to enforce.
Yeah, I've had a couple of ideas for a while now. Change the phone, do that.
Would you like to bring those to us? Because we could help with that. Kristen Cray is our planning director. All things planning go through her and, oh yes, and I'm sorry. Planner, is also, you're not the director, you're the second intern, what are you? Planner two, all right. So she's a planner too, get it? All right, there you go, all right. Sorry, I'll get it right next time. I promise. All right, so those are three good goals so far. The other kind of ongoing thing is the tree list that the tree city people are working on still. That all encompassing tree list that we've been trying to get together to post on the town's website that identifies trees that are good candidates for planting their power lines versus those that are good when they have plenty of space.
So we've done big and medium, now we're looking at small.
Well, we were looking at large last. We had the under power line list already, the small and medium. And that, I think you have, don't you, Kristen? So we were just waiting on the other, which there's nothing that prohibits us from finishing that large tree list. There's nothing that really is keeping us from doing that. And I wonder if it wouldn't be wise to go ahead and continue that process again. David has the best, and Kathy have the best expertise on that. Kathy, would you feel good about doing a large tree list? It doesn't have to be a large list, it just has to be a list about large trees.
I think it'd be good to finish that up, put a bow on it.
And since David's not here, we can nominate him to
Absolutely.
do that also. Well, I think those are some pretty good goals to start with, and that would give us plenty to work on, I think, in the meantime. Mark, as far as working with you, would you like to have a mechanism be that you bring us lists of locations? And we can figure out maybe trees to get in those locations?
Yeah. Yeah, because you know, comparing the trees. Yeah. Well, I guess that let's start at the end of Fort Johnson.
Yeah, work our way back.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, let me just make sure I got the three goals. Plant more street, number one, plant more street trees. Number two, ask for more money to plant and care for trees, or
Well, we're gonna put tree purchase into the budget,
put tree
and
purchase.
that's my job.
Okay,
Do that.
okay. That's a goal.
Mhm.
Okay, and then the last third, identify potential locations for tree health and enhancement.
And then work on the large tree list.
And work on the large, is that gonna be goal 4?
Mhm.
Okay,
I think they're in the middle of redoing the website, hopefully we can get something on there, right?
Yeah.
Does somebody here actually put things on there?
You're looking at our.
Because you know who didn't know who did that? Because I asked.
Well.
Somebody made it.
All right, so I think we're we've identified goals in the context of working on our agenda.
Mhm.
That's pretty good. Pretty good, because I have care and maintenance of right-of-way town of James Island trees as another issue, and I think that we've talked about that. All right, and that brings us to the 150th anniversary of Arbor Day report. We had a great Arbor Day here at Town Hall. Jenny came out with the kids and helped us plant some trees. That was kind of fun. And we had town staff out there. We planted a couple trees here at Town Hall. If you look out there, there's a few more that need to go in the ground. And those are slated to go in the ground soon enough. We've got a couple gum trees to plant along the cemetery here. Those are black gum tupelo trees. And we have 4 of the cedar trees to plant along with the others along the back of James Island Arts and Culture Center. So it'll be a nice green fence along the back there. So that'll be very nice.
So we're gonna get the rest of those.
Yes.
repairs now, so-
Yeah. we're gonna do this.
And then we also have a Jane Magnolia to plant at Pinckney Park to honor our former town administrator, Ashley Callahan.
I think Bill's already done that whole.
Yes, we did. And we've got a tree right there to go in it. So that'll happen.
I think we could do it when I do those steps, so.
He was talking to me, he already talked to Ashley, and like Wednesday, Thursday next week, with the scout coming on Tuesday. And it would be during the day, so.
Well, Mark, if you could let us know,
Yeah, I'll call her and I can find out what date she told him, because I'm sure he,
some of us might like to be there. All right.
well, he-
So the Arbor Day report is that we got a bunch of trees planted for Arbor Day. We celebrated another Arbor Day with the town of James Island, which is wonderful. The trees were paid for out of the James Island Pride account. So we could keep it there or we could transfer to our account, either way. I think Merrill just thought it was easier to do James Island Pride because we had done that in the past. Either way, there's money both ways. So that's the Arbor Day report. Next year's Arbor Day is the first Friday in December, as it usually is in South Carolina. So hopefully we can have another great Arbor Day celebration this year and maybe even include kids this time. That would be a good thing. So that would be something to try to work for. All right, we are to the good of the order right now. Does anybody have anything that they'd like to add to our meeting?
No.
I've got one thing to say about the website, if we can do it. I think it is okay to go ahead and keep reminding the public about this beetle infestation. So if we could just every once in a while,
I'll put it on the banner thing.
yeah, just put it up there. Reminder, these are the evil beetles,
Yeah.
all right?
So that's the-
Mhm.
So that they know what to look for,
No, we still live.
because that's a threat that isn't going away. And we just want to make sure that people get reminded to look for those things. And also to know what to do if they find them. All right, they've got to let people know.
Yeah, I figured out on the campus. I'm sure our police don't have that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to be part of it because of the forest,
Mhm.
or the trees you can see.
Well, they really tend to like maple trees.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
That's
We don't have that many people, but, right now, those maples are putting out those red things, so you can spot the maple, so if there's a lot of little red stuff and some dead stuff, and you might be suspect of that.
Mhm. Yeah.
Wonder
Well,
if
here's
they have
David,
this
we'll see if he
problem
has
over in
any-
Asia, do they get them American beetles?
Hey,
Oh my gosh.
You're just in time for the good of the order. Excellent time.
Yeah.
Good job.
What job are you giving to do? What job? President?
Yeah, you're sure.
Sounds good to me.
That was easy. Paul got up.
Very nice.
I thought we were gonna team up with, there's a girl that we met with, Urban Forestry.
Right, right. Sarah Speck.
Yeah, they had, she came and we met and they're putting together a pretty all-inclusive list.
Okay.
And I'm like, we better just tag off of it.
I'm all for it. Did they give us a estimated time of arrival on that?
I thought she said something like spring.
Okay, good, good. Well, that might be a little easier for you guys to not have to deal with, right?
Well, I think it's with them updating it a little bit more often than we have capabilities to.
Mhm.
There may be some that we go, oh, no, that's not a low, low country tree. It's more upstate.
Right. But you guys can make that determination.
Sure.
Right, so that'll work out great. All right, that's good. That's good. So that dialogue's ongoing.
Mhm.
That's good. All right. All right, let's see. So Beatles was the last thing I had on my list.
Did we do the tree canopy award? Canopy award nomination?
Oh, yeah, guys, keep your eyes out for great trees. David, you identified that one.
Did I give
Magnolia
you
berry.
that photo?
Yeah, I've got it on my list, but I'm waiting for it to bloom
Okay.
so that it looks great
It's over
on Darwin.
of, it's near the rec facility and it's a tree. I've been trying to figure out where the identity of
Well,
It's on Darwin,
Darwin.
yeah, because I passed it when I'm walking the dog.
Yeah. It's got white balloon on it. I thought it was a magnolia family and
It is,
Whatever
it's
that
about this
piece
big
of
around.
paper identifying it.
Yeah, yeah, we have the identification, and I talked to the guy,
Okay,
and he's extremely proud of that. tree. So that's,
Neat.
so that's good news.
yeah, it's a tree that you, I just,
closer to Harbor View Road or?
No. It's closer to Quail,
Okay,
so it's like maybe 3 in from Quail on Darwin.
you have to turn and if you turn off the Quail, it's 3 houses down on the left.
Yes,
You would think it's the biggest sweet bay magnolia that you've ever seen, or like, it's kind of in that magnolia family for
the early spring.
also. It's for years I've been trying to grow this tree.
it gets the prettiest little white flowers, and they stay for a long time. They're real pretty, but I thought, yeah, that's an award winner, but we gotta wait for it to bloom so you can get a good picture. You know.
Oh, and somebody asked me about a tree on Foxtrot Farm. And I think I did see what you were talking about, a pink blooming tree, I think it was a Confederate rose, one of those hibiscus machado.
Okay,
Somebody asked the last week. And I finally read about it and saw it, but it's that, it's almost considered a, not really, it dies to the ground,
Dies to the ground.
but it comes back 20 feet. And
Oh,
it's
right.
pink and white blooms on
The other ones are blue, about blue, are all your red buds.
yeah,
And 2 of my noses are blooming right now, so it'd be perfect time. You see the understory tree.
well, let's try to get an understory tree as soon as we can, because the purple blooms are out, you know, they're out now.
There's a really pretty one as well.
Yeah, real pretty one by the boardwalk right there.
There's one that's yard. Yeah.
All right, well, guys, anything else for the good of the order here?
Well, are we gonna make an award then to one of these?
Well,
trees?
we'll just keep it.
Or just,
We're going to, we just have to, have a location, address, and then maybe the names of the people, so that we know who to put on the certificate.
Eyes
The
peeled.
tree's the winner, the people get the certificate.
Yeah.
The one that I recommend is not in bloom,
okay,
so we're going to give that probably 2-3 months.
Yeah, we'll wait.
Well, we should keep a running list.
I'll keep an eye on it.
Yeah, I remember the one was at Crepe Myrtle that were,
That's where the dog likes to go.
That's like
because
later
we
in
already
summer.
have one in the hopper, the Crepe Myrtle, right?
That doesn't bloom until summer.
Yeah,
So,
it's pretty good, June, yeah.
Yeah, but if we want to make one for next month, this is red buds,
Yeah.
2 magnolias. all-
So if anybody sees one, send an email to everybody on the council. And we'll give it the thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever we think, and get it to heaven. Because I'd like to do that. I really would like to understand. That would be great. So, we have a hot competition for chair now. Paul and David. You guys want to arm wrestle? Or should we vote?
I'd like to second David's nomination. That's what I'd like to do.
Giving up your spot,
Oh, yes.
you can stay on the board, or what do you do then?
No, I'm trying to get other interest in being chair. I'm the liaison to council.
I mean, y'all want me to, I'll do
Oh, David,
Good.
that's real complicated.
I mean, the guy that comes in late to the meeting.
Well, do you want,
That'll
do you need us
teach
to
you.
change the time?
It's better if you like-
Man, I was in Dorchester County, right, so it was like flying in. So, I mean, work is, to me, my office is right down the street, so most of the time it works.
And David, I could get you like the template for the agenda,
Okay.
and the email list, and you'll be all set.
Just contact Francis, the Secretary of Town Hall. She'll put it together. Okay. We vote.
All those in favor of David being chair? Aye.
Right.
All those opposed? Oh, it's unanimous. That's great. That's great. So rare, the unanimous consent. Well, thank you, David. I think that's wonderful. All right. Well, with no further business, I think that we are adjourned at 5:15.
Yeah.
Jenny,
Not bad.
God, it's such a
See, that's
wonderful
what I'm
job.
talking
Oh, it's not- Stop that. 26. You and Robin are so